What is mixing? Mixing is essentially just adjusting the volume of everything in a song. There's more details, more aspects to it, but that is, for the most part, it. You've recorded guitar, bass, drums, vocals, synthesizer, whatever it may be. You've got all these different tracks, and now you got to make them sound like they belong together. So if your guitar is too loud, and your drums aren't loud enough, and your vocalist is off to the left, and your bass is coming out of the right speaker, it's not going to sound very good, unless that's what you're going for. It's probably not what you're going for. Please don't go for that. If you do, send it to me, because I'd like to hear it anyway. It might be good. Sometimes you have two separate guitars and you might pan one left and one right, maybe just a little bit. Your bass and your drums are usually going to be coming out of the center, or your snare and your kick most likely, with your cymbals being spread a little bit to the left and right. Vocalist is coming straight down the middle of both speakers and usually is going to be a little bit louder. Essentially, the mixing process is blending all those signals together and sending the balance to which side you want them to come through the most. A lot of people consider effects processing going on in the mixing section as well. Some people think that's part of the recording process. That depends. I think it's a bit of both. Really no right or wrong way to do this. If you're making great music and you're doing it in a way nobody's ever done before, would they really be upset if you broke the rules but made a great song? Probably not. Typically though, mixing is the process of bringing up the levels of the song so that they all fit well together. You're not sending too strong of a signal, which is called peaking, which will cause a distortion sound that you don't want. Any kind of system, if you turn it up too loud, you will cause that distortion. So mixing brings all the levels up, mixes them together, and places them where they need to be. And you may also add effects, add reverbs to vocals or delays to guitars or whatever you want to do with your song. You may also automate volume changes, intros and outros. You may also automate effects as well. So if you want the vocals to have delay on this part but not on this part, you may add that there as well. Some people again might have already done that in the recording process, but essentially mixing is really just trying to bring it as close as you can to the final product right before it goes to the mastering process, which is typically left to somebody called a mastering engineer, and that's what we'll cover next. Again, mixing is really just bringing up the levels so that everything sounds cohesive without peaking the levels and making the song distort, placing things left and right to where you think they sound best, and possibly adding effects.